Um, Hello, everybody. Thank you very much for joining Barnet and Southgate College's virtual open evening or afternoon. My name is Marcus Clark, and I'm going to be talking about English and maths, specifically English GCSE, maths GCSE, also functional skills, English and maths, and also foundation learning courses that are called bridging courses. So there's three particular areas that I'm going to be talking about, and this is who the session's aimed at. Firstly, it will be 16 to 18-year-olds who are going to be joining the college, probably for other courses. So it could be, IT, media, arts, health and social core, any of the courses that the college offers, but that need to retake their maths and their English. The second group I'm going to be talking about are for adults, and those are adults that wish to be taking part-time courses in maths and English for GCSE and functional skills. And then the last group that I'm going to be talking about are 16 to 18-year-olds that want to join our full-time foundation learning courses. So those are different from the vocational courses, and they're called Bridging and Move Up. So firstly, for those that are joining other courses within the college, but still need to do their maths and English again, and that means that they didn't achieve at least a grade 4, the college requires any of those students to retake. Now, if the student scored a 3, then they would have to do a GCSE course. If they scored a 2 or less, then there'll be an option of doing a functional skills classes. Now, when you come to the college, if you're interested, as I said, in another area, vocational area, so if you're interested in media, for instance, a media course, what you need to do is just enroll on that particular course. You don't need to separately enroll in the English and maths courses. What will then happen is that those courses for English and maths will be part of the media course, and you'll be enrolled automatically on those courses. The other sort of course, main course that we do is for adults, and there again we have a range of courses around GCSE and functional skills, and those are part-time courses. So for GCSE they're usually 3 hours a week, all in one session, and for functional skills it's 2 hours. And those courses are in the evenings, Saturdays, and also at Wood Street we have quite a few daytime courses for functional skills. GCSE courses tend to be more in the evening, although we are starting to run 1 or 2 courses in the daytime. Obviously, English and maths is a very important qualification that helps you access, firstly, to other higher level qualifications. So we have a number of people that say might want to do access courses and go on to university, but they need, say, maths and English. So we have some people doing the maths and English for that reason. It could be sometimes for a job related employment opportunities, things like that. And also we just have some adults that just want to improve their maths and English. They haven't done anything for a long time, and they just feel this is the time to start trying again maths and English. And functional skills offers lots of different levels, so it doesn't really matter what level you're at. There'll always be a starting level that you can kind of work upon. While GCSE does require you to have a certain level of English and maths to start with, and we normally assess that to start with. And if we feel that you're not ready for the GCSE yet, then we will give you recommend that you take a functional skills class. The awarding body that we use for both the GCSE English and maths is Edexcel, and there's lots of resources available. If you want to, particularly GCSE, if you want to sort of see what do GCSE English and maths papers look like, if you just Google past papers, Edexcel, GCSE maths English, there freely, widely available on the internet, and that'll give you a good idea of what the GCSE papers like. Likewise, you can get a sort of more limited range of the functional skills type papers that are available. We also have significant access to ICT facilities within the college, and we try and use more sort of ICT packages than maybe you might have used if you were at school. And there's some examples on here: BKSB, MathsWatch. There's always lots and lots of help on YouTube, My Maths. iLearn is a package within the college where lots of work is put onto iLearn, and when you enroll on a college course, you'll have access to that. Also, the BBC always has an excellent educational section there, and particularly for maths and English, if you want to have a look at the sorts of things that you might be doing on particularly on GCSE courses, you can look there. There's also one that's specifically aimed at adults called SkillsWise. So it's well worth looking at those things, particularly while you're thinking about whether to come to the college and do English and maths. What sort of things might I need to do? Also, if you have ever needed extra support in class, the college is very good at providing those resources, and when you come along to the college, just let us know what kind of support you might have had before, say at school, and then we'll match you up with the learning support department, and they can look at what extra support you might need in class or out of class. Also, there's support for any learner outside of class for English and maths, which is run out of the LRC, and also there are revision sessions and extra resources made available. So the last thing that I'm going to talk about is our particular foundation learning program, which is called Bridging. Now, this is aimed for learners between 16 and 19 years old, and it's aimed at learners that are looking to get onto courses at the college, but might not have the specific qualifications needed, say for level 2 or level 3 programs at the college. And we run a range of courses at different levels. So we have some bridging courses which have GCSEs within them. So for example, there's one course that has GCSE English Maths, literature, language, English literature, English language, and also business. So those are for learners who say maybe got grade 3s in some of their GCSEs, but didn't have enough to get onto the particular course they wanted to. We also have courses that have functional skills in it, and then there's also a course based actually at the Southgate campus, not at the Wood Street campus, called Move Up, and that particular course is aimed at learners that maybe have had quite a lot of extra support in class and need a class which also provides that kind of level of support that they're used to. It also has BTEC level 1 vocational qualifications, and that's a very important qualification because if you pass your level 1 qualification, then that allows you to move on automatically to say level 2 courses within the college. So that opens up lots more opportunities. As I said, it's aimed partially at those students that maybe didn't get the level of qualifications they needed to move on to some of the vocational qualifications of the college, but it's also aimed at maybe people that have moved from school to school and missed out on taking some qualifications, or possibly even haven't been in the country very long and haven't got UK qualifications. So it's a good way of acquiring those qualifications and then moving on to sort of higher level 2, and sometimes we get learners going straight to level 3 and even A-level courses from the bridging course. There is another course that we offer, which is called Back on Track, and that starts in January. Now the courses, so that will be starting in this January. So now really at this stage, if you were, say, 16 to 19-year-old and you were trying to join a course at a college, it'd be very difficult to join a course at this point because they've all been running for half a term. But the Back on Track course allows students to start half, kind of, a bit more than halfway through the year, and it runs, it's very similar to the bridging courses. It has English and maths in there. It could be GCSE, it could be functional skills, and it also has a level 1 vocational qualification, but it's called a certificate, so it's not as big as the qualifications in the main bridging courses, so it allows you to complete it over 2 terms. And again, it then gives you the same opportunities that you would normally have with a full bridging course, in that the following year, once you've completed that, you could then move on to, say, a level 2 course. So if anyone is interested in that, particularly now, because the college is starting to recruit for those courses, then at the end you'll see my email, and you can contact me via my email. Just some frequently asked questions. So it says, will functional skills qualifications help me progress to higher study or employment? Yes, absolutely. The difference between, say, a level 2 functional skills course and a GCSE pass grade, which a pass grade is 4, they're roughly equivalent. So for instance, if you were looking to go to university, many universities would accept a level 2 functional skills in maths and English instead of a GCSE, although we'd always ask you just to double check with the university if that was the case. And also, if you were, say, trying to progress onto an access course or something like that, again, they would accept a level 2 instead of a GCSE. And employers will usually accept a level 2 instead of a GCSE as well. But many people take the level 2 first and then actually want to go on and do the GCSE afterwards, and that's absolutely fine. As I said, I haven't mentioned this, but all the courses are free. You just need to sort of show that you have the residency in the kind of country. All courses are free, and you can go from a level 2 to a GCSE course, and that's still free as well. Are foundation study programs only for students that need extra support? No, that's not the case at all. Probably in each class there might be 1 or 2 students that have extra support. Some classes won't have any at all. So no, in no way is our foundation programs based purely for people who've used to having extra support. And can you enroll onto a GCSE English or maths? Yeah, so any adult that has a level 2 functional skills or a grade 3 can automatically enroll onto a GCSE. If you don't have either of those, then we do ask you to take an assessment, and then we let you know whether we think you're ready to start the GCSE course. And if you're not, then we'll offer you the functional skills class. So there will always be the opportunity to there'll always be an opportunity to do an English and maths course or of one sort or other level. Okay, so if you do have questions, please write those in the chat box. These are the emails. There are 3 managers at the 3 different campuses. So I'm in the middle there. I'm at the Wood Street campus. That's my email. But those are the emails of the other 2 campuses for Peter and Owen. So it may be that you're interested in another campus and you have a question, you could write to me and I'm sure I would be able to answer that. But if you want to email the specific manager at a specific site, then please do take those down. Do take down those now, because in a minute I will be ending the PowerPoint and then I will be going through any questions that people have got. If you've got a question but you don't want to sort of have it answered publicly in this forum, then just email me and then I'll get back to you with your about your specific concerns. Thank you very much for listening to the presentation. We'll be switching over to the questions in a second. And please do ask anything that you've got specifically. One of them might be, are there still places on functional skills and GCSE courses? There's still places on functional skills courses. So the best thing to do there is to email me and then I'll get back to you with a time when we could meet and we could look at doing enrollments. GCSEs, there's the best thing to do is, again, email me if you're interested in GCSEs, but there's a waiting list and possibly a course starting in January. Okay, thank you very much. I'll move to questions now. Okay, right, so we've got some questions here. Right, so the first one I've got is, do you have a small group foundation English and maths courses for learning disabled students? So the move up course would probably be the one which is based at Collingdale, and that's probably the most likely course. I mean, it depends on what level the particular student is at. If someone is around what we call entry 3 level, then a bridging course is likely to be suitable, even if the student is used to having some support in class. If the student is probably operating at a slightly lower level than that, then possibly the move up course might be more suitable. Okay, the next one is, okay, that was right, thanks. Right. How many face-to-face teaching time are involved in foundation learning study programs per week? Okay, so that's around 15 hours per week face-to-face. And how many online teaching? Right, I mean, things are very different this year in that we are having to do about half of the teaching online and half face-to-face. But in any normal year, it would be around 15 hours. And then independent learning and home learning. So the learners obviously are set homeworks and projects and things that they need to work on outside of that. There's not a sort of specific hourly amount to that, but probably 4 or 5 hours in addition to the 15 hours would seem about reasonable. Okay. Doesn't look like I've got any other specific questions at the moment, but I will hold on to, if anybody else wants to type any other messages. Okay, right, so I've got a question here. Do I need to have other GCSEs to take English and maths? No, you don't, none at all. If I have overseas qualifications, can I get on a bridging course? Yes, absolutely. What we do is, so for instance, if there's 2 specific levels of course for bridging really, there's a GCSE one and a functional skills one. If you have GCSEs at grade 3, then you would go on to the GCSE bridging course. But if you're coming from overseas, what we would normally do is actually just give you an assessment, an English assessment normally, and then we decide whether we think the GCSE level will be the right course or the functional skills level. Is there an age limit on functional skills, or do they have to be 16 to 19? Yes, usually 16 to 19. Occasionally we might take someone who's sort of 20-ish, possibly if they were used to having learning support, something like that. But on the whole, it's usually 16 to 19-year-olds. When do the courses start for adults? So normally adult courses start in September and they run to June. We do allow for functional skills, particularly students to sort of join at this point. So there are still people joining, and maybe up to sort of January time, we'd have people joining for functional skills. GCSEs, normally you've got to kind of start in the first couple of weeks of September. But after that, as I said, we might be running a class in January, although that depends on sort of demand really. Do you have to pay for the courses? No. The only times you have to pay, sometimes people want to retake they want to retake a GCSE and they've already got, say, a grade 4, and they want to improve that course, and sometimes you might have to pay for that. Other than that, as long as you have sort of secure residency within the country, you won't have to pay for either GCSEs or functional skills. Yeah, so are all adult GCSE courses free? Yes, they are. Yeah. Okay, any other questions? So right, just going back to bridging, okay. So yeah, it's, as I said, it's 15 hours, say 15 hours face to face, and maybe 4 or 5 hours, very roughly, students approximately would need to be doing work outside of that. Okay, right. How can I understand that the course rights? How can I understand that the course will start? I think I've answered that in terms of courses start in September for GCSE functional skills. If people wanted to join now, they can join now, and there's a possibility of a January start for GCSEs. But if you're interested in either the functional skills and the GCSE and want to join this year, then just email me and I will get back to you individually. We've just got 15 hours weekly. Yeah. So just to clarify, 15 hours is for the bridging courses. So that's for the 16 to 19-year-olds. Adult courses, so the GCSE adult and functional skills are 2 hours for functional skills a week and 3 hours a week for GCSE. Okay, we're coming to the end, I think, of our allotted time. As I said, please do send me an email if you have a specific question that you want me to answer, or if you just want extra clarification on what I've said so far. But thank you very much for your time and for joining us today. And hopefully you found this information useful and that you'll be looking to join the college possibly in the near future or later, maybe next September. All right. Thank you very much.